winter. Oh my god, what? It's all winter. It is time to celebrate summer with vintage knitting patterns. I really enjoy knitwear, but I think when it comes to summertime, it's a bit more complicated to find something that will be suitable for that time period, because knitting for me, and maybe for a lot of you, is associated with wool and warm clothes, mainly knitting for winter time. But what about summer knits? Well, there's a lot of things that you can knit for summer, especially when it comes to vintage knitwear. If you choose to knit with cotton or bamboo yarn, you're probably gonna be very much in good hands. Summer is not only associated with warm weather, but it's also associated with a lot of bloom still and a lot of fruits. Unfortunately, I don't have any knits that are fruit inspired, but I do have, again, because this is my channel, and what is this? It's a flower. Of course I'm gonna be giving you some flower inspiration. Without it, it would not be me. Let's start with wonderful Tyrolean vest that I have actually knitted myself and I am currently wearing right here. I think this one is a 1930s, 1940s vest, but it's definitely vintage. Of course, like, it needs to be a vest and a vintage one, please. And I love it so much. I actually knitted it last year, and there is also a whole 3 videos that I have created for this Tyrolean vest. It is all about converting this vintage pattern into knitting it on a knitting machine, which I did successfully, and it only took me 3 days after I figured out how to convert everything. There was some math involved, but it is not a very complicated pattern whatsoever. I truly adore it, and also this pattern is wonderfully customizable, because if you think about it, it's just a plain canvas, just a very simple stockinette stitch knit, and it is a wonderful project for stash busting. I am 100% recommend you to watch the 3 videos that I have created, from figuring out the gauge on my knitting machine to knitting the whole garment, and then to embroidering it with flowers that I've decided to choose myself. I actually added these because the original pattern didn't have these flowers, and I really wanted to showcase the flowers at the top and at the bottom of the vest so that it is fully appreciated, but also I think it balanced itself very well. And this was a perfect project to convert vintage hand knitting into, I guess, vintage machine knitting, because it was still a vintage machine that I have knitted this on. I think it's just a wonderful opportunity to try this vest. And one thing that I love about this vest is that it is made out of bamboo and cotton mix, which was wonderful. The yarn that I found in a charity shop, it was just 3 balls of yarn, and I think I might knit another one, but at the same time, why would I want another vest? But then I don't really ask that question when I make another vest. You probably can count every single video is about a vest. Sorry, not sorry, they're just so handy, and I really love to showcase a sleeve. Look at this sleeve. Like, come on. This sleeve cannot be hidden inside a cardigan. No, no, no. It needs to be its own showcaseable thing. And I really love vests, I guess, because from my culture, in Bulgarian, Turkish culture, we actually have a special vest for everything. So I guess it kind of comes from that inspiration, that you wear a vest with a shirt. This would be a perfect thing to create for summer. And if you already have a winter vest, why not create a summer vest? And then you will be a vest girl forever and ever, or a vest person. Whoever you are, you will be looking wonderfully. It just adds a bit of interest to your daily life. Also, regarding this one, I am still thinking about adding some ties, because currently this one is just pinned, and you know what? Very historically accurate. You can pin anything, and this is what I did. I just pinned it with the way I wanted it to sit on me, and it sits perfectly. I love to think how many different things you can make out of one garment. Actually, I love people to like share some fun garments that they knitted. I think I got an idea. If you just send me like a link down below of your Ravelry account, I will check it out. Like, I would love to see people's creations, patterns that I have recommended throughout the series you got inspired, or any of my knitted projects that I have created. I do have my own Ravelry page, so you can always go check out what I'm making. Always spoil yourself if you want to and know what I'm up to. If you're bored from the conversation about vests, let me share with you another thing that you can make. Because I'm in UK and I am not in Bulgaria, where it's super hot right now, we need some coverage throughout this confusing times of weather. Let's talk about some cardigans. It is going to be from Stitchcraft. This one is a wonderful pattern. It is from their selection of summer knitwear. This is a Stitchcraft from July 1952. This pattern is just so beautiful with the wonderfully embroidered flowers on it. But you know, sometimes I decide to knit something in a month just for funsies, so maybe this garment will be that. Does look a bit complicated. It incorporates two things into it. It is very geometrical. It has these geometrical lines going through, which I really love. It's very zigzaggy and kind of reminds me of Greek architecture a bit. And also you have a more less structured, artistic, I guess, if we're talking about flowers. Flowers add a splash of artistic creativity to it. Instead of just making it very structured, it creates a lot more dimension to it with the addition of flowers. If you just look at it without any flowers, it looks like a totally different garment. Really love the fact that there is something going on with the structure, with the lines that it creates, with the use of different stitches, instead of just being a stockinette stitch, which is a simple and wonderful stitch. But sometimes you want to add some dimension to your clothes, and that can be done with different types of stitches or with embroidery, or both. And this cardigan has it all. I really love the buttons. They're complementing the flowers on the cardigan. And I love the fact that this is a long sleeve, so it is perfect for these chilly evenings and also chilly mornings of your summertime. But not only for summer, it is a wonderful garment throughout the year. And I think when you already have a full-on garment with a lot of things going on it, of course, not every single person will love this garment, because not every single person is me. But for me, this garment speaks a lot. I do have a very big collection of Stitchcraft, and I don't think we will be finishing anytime soon when it comes to Stitchcraft magazines, because oh my god, there are a lot of them. Today, oh right, we're actually going to be talking about the July 1952 Stitchcraft again, because that is where another pattern that I found, and I really loved it, and I was like, I should talk about it because it is a short sleeve garment. And of course, we need to mix it up a bit. Like, we talked about vests without any sleeves. We talk about a cardigan. Now we're going to talk about something that has a shorter sleeve. Baby, I'm yours. This is the July 1952. It is this one right here at the back. But this really interested me, and I really loved the collar and also a design that creates as if there is like a fake shirt underneath, but no. I really love how it sits on her. It is just so nicely fitted, and that's what I love about vintage garments. They're just very nicely sitting on a person and not just being too bulky. Really love the fact that you have this fake shirt. When it comes to this one, again, it is truly very much customizable. Choose whatever. You don't like baby blue, go with green. I mean, that's what I would choose myself. I don't know. I would love to go maybe with like pink, weirdly enough. And I really love the details. It's just very interesting to have garments that have something going on instead of just a simple knit without nothing. And of course, the coolest thing about this one is you can tuck it into your skirts. It is just a wonderful thing to knit, I think. A perfect summer and spring knit, maybe even early autumn. And we're gonna move on to a next one. Let's not forget that that a lot of people have winter when it is a summertime, especially in Australia and New Zealand. And I do have a lot of people that watch me from Australia. So hello everyone from Australia. Hi. You know what? Summer is confusing even for United Kingdom. And sometimes I do have to wear some warmer things, and I really love my vest that I have knitted on my month marathon. It was knitted in a month, and a lot of you also loved that video. You keep bringing me a lot of smiles, and I did read all of your comments, the fact that you loved that vest so much, and I think that's the one that I'm gonna recommend. This is a wonderful pattern if you love to knit it. I would love to see your Fair Isle vests because I think it was just one of my favorite things that I have knitted. And the coolest thing about a vest that is a Fair Isle, you don't have to do Fair Isle. You can knit it fully stockinette, very simple. You can knit it without the color work, with color work, with lighter yarn, with thicker yarn, whatever you prefer. And the only thing is, if you're doing the staking method, which I did for this one, I wouldn't really go with any type of other yarn. But the thing with superwash yarn is that it is not sticky. It is done so that it's not going to create that stickiness that a normal wool yarn would create. But with not woolen yarn, maybe think differently. You know what? It is still suitable for summer if you knit it with a cotton or bamboo yarn. Again, we keep coming back to the vests. Maybe I should stop talking about vests now, and I think I don't have any more vests to talk about, even though one of my patterns is literally a cover of a vest. A man in a vest. And by the way, if you're thinking about knitting something for your partners, you can also create a vest for them. Of course. I mean, everybody loves a vest. I feel like people should just knit a vest. Just tell me in the comments if it's too much, and I'll try to like reduce it, I guess, but not really, because it's my whole personality, as I told you. I mean, it's an obsession till the end of times. Because they're so fabulous and fashionable, and I told you, they're so beautiful. Let's see what... Oh, this one's so cute! Now, first things first, the Stitchcraft August 1950s actually features a man with a Fair Isle vest. When I looked at this one, it actually reminded me of that July 1952 pattern that I've talked to you a couple of patterns ago. It's because of the fact that it has a different stitch to it, and I really love this one. I don't know why it looks like flowers to me, like tulips. Or wait a second, it kind of also reminds me of like Turkish tulips. This is a wonderful pattern because it combines the two previous patterns that I've talked about, actually maybe previous patterns that I've talked about. It is a cardigan that is also a short-sleeved cardigan, and with beautiful stitch because it's just very airy, more dainty, and I really love it. It does remind me of some tulips, and I feel like, yes, tulips are springtime flowers, but also because I associate it with the plates that are made in Izmir in Turkey. There are a lot of tulip-shaped designs on the plates, and not only on the plates, but also throughout all the ceramics. It's just very beautiful, and I really love that it reminds me of that because I really adore these kind of motifs because it's just so reminds me of home. Oh my god, I just thought about Mr. Collins from Pride and Prejudice. He was like trying to... Okay, it's a bit of a side note. Sorry about that. When he was at the dinner with Bennett, he was trying to like give a compliment to the Bennett sisters about their cooking and the fact that they're wonderfully boiled potatoes, and he haven't had this exemplary vegetable in a while. I don't know. I'm trying to quote it. I don't know the quote. Then they were having a conversation trying to kind of like make a joke from him. They were trying to like ask whether this is a studied commentary, writing these down for like every single occasion, or whether it's like a spontaneous thing. It was like, well, it's more of like a... Basically, they got the fact that it was a studied thing. I had to like prepare to give these kind of delicacies to the ladies. I don't actually prepare for these. I don't write anything down, whatever comes first thing into my mind. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a stitch in time pattern that is, I think, called Kasha, and it is like a yellow color. Like if this one was in yellow, it probably would have been a very similar one, but Kasha is a wonderful one. But if this is the same pattern, then I found another dupe. Because a summer for a lot of you is associated with going to the sea. Well, it is associated with me because I love to go to the sea. You need something that is a bit more open, something that actually would breathe instead of wearing a very long cardigan. Though I told you, you will definitely need it if you're going to the beach. If you're going to Bulgaria to the beach, definitely wear a cardigan in the evenings because it gets very chilly. This is a June 1950s pattern, is a sun jersey. The sun jersey that I am referring to, it's actually a bit of the shoulder top. I really love how they combine everything with like a short shorts with the skirt. And the coolest thing about summer is that you can wear whatever. This is just a wonderful pattern because it is just very structured. I love the details. It's kind of like a lovely colored detail in the front because it's a bit lacy, which we love. And if you knit it with a cotton or maybe bamboo or a mixed yarn. And also, I feel like this would be perfect project for a linen yarn because we know linen is a wonderful material to wear throughout summer because it is anti-everything, anti-sweat. Would love to knit something like this, and I feel like this would be a perfect thing to knit because it's just very simple. If you don't love vests, this is not a vest, this is actually a top. You are like me and you want some flowers on it. Why not embroider some flowers? You can also do some color work if you want to. You can get inspiration from this parrot color work if you like. So the bottom of this top would be like lines, different lines every single row or every other row or every 3 rows, whatever type of lines you want. But if you think about it, this would be a perfect project as a stash busting. If you don't want to buy new yarn, you can stash bust whatever you have when it comes to saving yarn, but also when it comes to making it a bit more showing of the skin. You can, because you can just shorten it. It becomes a crop top. We have talked for an hour now. It's been an hour, so it is time to say goodbye. If you love to see more of these type of videos, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to knit, because that is why I'm creating these selections. And I would love to see what kind of projects that you have been knitting throughout these inspiration months. Send me a link of your Ravelry down below and I will definitely check it out because I love to check out people's work and even get inspiration. Thank you so much for your support. You have been a wonderful, wonderful viewers. And also, by the way, by the time that I have filmed this, we are more than 1,000 people and that is so cool. So cool. Thank you so much for your love and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Have a wonderful time whatever you're on the world. Bye everyone. And also, let me show you what I have worn. I guess this is post-scriptum. This is a stand with my microphone here because I don't actually have these tiny little microphones. Or because look at this fit. I am just more like a countryside LZ inspired and I really love to add a waistcoat. We love a waistcoat. This was a Turkish yarn that I have found in a charity shop in UK. So how lucky is that? One thing about the skirt is that it has pockets. Yes, look at the pockets. And of course it's braids, but this is me. And I hope you loved this postscriptum as if this video wasn't already super long. So thank you so much. Bye everyone. This was me, the chaotic mess that it is every single time. If you want to see more of my videos where I have created this Tyrolean vest, you can watch this video right here, which I have recommended in this video. And if you want to see something that is a bit more different, a bit more fun, you can go into my most recent video that I have done.